Okay, Dave, if you want to explain what happened before things went wrong, but like before things started going wrong this
Before
morning,
we woke up.
How was the team kind of doing?
We definitely set out on this trip with high spirits. I mean, we were all definitely in a good mood. We were excited. We knew like the places that we were going were like really solid, fun places that none of us had seen before. They're pretty far away. We spent 13 hours driving all day yesterday, like leaving at noon and getting there at 3 a.m., which is Bernie Falls, which is where we were going. And we woke up this morning in the van, and it was really cold. And so we turned the heat on in the van, and in like 10 minutes the van just shut off on its own. It was running, everything was going fine, it just shut down. So we couldn't get started anymore, like had no power. And so we found this guy that was in a little motorhome, like, I don't know, probably 100 feet away from where we parked. Aaron and I walked over and knocked on his door like, hey, we're extremely helpless right now. Our van's dead and we're in the middle of nowhere, we don't have cell service. And he's like, I can help you out.
Yeah, basically we needed a dad that knew what he was doing. And he kind of brought over this like little battery jump starter and started up, and morale was back up. We were going real strong. Started the car, take off, find out the parking lot we need to go to. Oh, let's go get a couple drone shots. Going back and forth and take a quick stop to grab the drone, and the car stops again.
Right, as the driver in the car. Being in charge of the car when it stops.
Well, first of all, we all looked at the road like, dude, what did I know?
So, yeah, we were there for a while, trying to get in touch with people back home and what to do, AAA, like trying to get a tow truck out there, just trying to figure it out. Oh, and a guy showed up. Eventually, we waved down a guy who tried to help us and jump-started again. He was very nice, but it just didn't work. So yeah, eventually we got towed, and now the car is at a repair shop where we're waiting to get it fixed tomorrow morning. That's where we're at.
But I think it's important to like really put in perspective, like when you're feeling anxious and when you have so much going on in your life, just to really kind of focus on, okay, what's important? Like, what's the grand scheme of things? And we've gotten to see all of like these incredible things and like all this stuff that God's made and all the things that He's done in our lives, and just the scale of that, like compared to like the situation we've been in today, is so much greater. Like, we're gonna be all right because we know that God holds like our future, and that we know that that's something that like we can be secure and that we can know. So even though it's frustrating and it's not ideal, like it could be worse. So we have to take like what we can be thankful for, and like we know that God's got our backs. We know that like He's in this with us, and we're on His side. When we're on His side, like, what's the worst that can happen? So,
but just like you're saying, it's a matter of perspective, and I find it to be true for myself. So often I'm reminded of that verse, Matthew 6:26. Look at the birds of the air, they do not sow or reap or stow away in their barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And that rings true so often for me. It's like, look at His creation and how He provides for it, and even I can reflect on my past and how He's constantly provided for me, and I'm just reminded, like, yeah, worrying about the situation we're in right now, like stressing about how are we gonna fix our van, what are we gonna do, like worrying about it isn't gonna add anything to it. But yeah, I can just be reminded of all the ways He's provided for me, and just be reassured that He's continually going to provide for me.
Yeah, that's actually funny you brought up that verse, because that's the verse like I always think about whenever like, if something stressful is happening, or let's say, something's going wrong that should have gone this way or it went that way, or like, you're expecting one thing and the other thing's happening. Like, I always think like, what is me really freaking out inside and like really stressing out or getting all this anxiety like really gonna do for me? Like, how is this gonna solve the situation? And that's kind of always like helped me personally to like calm myself down and be like, okay, like, you know, it's all gonna be okay. God's gonna take care of me.
I definitely find myself being an anxious person. Like, I wouldn't say like I'm a warrior, like a worrywart or whatever people want to call that, but I definitely find myself stressing out and being anxious about more things than other people. And then kind of going into this trip, wanting to try to figure out a way to not like make it go away, but to combat it in like in a healthy way and the way that God like kind of wants us to try to go after that. I'm realizing that you're not alone in it, and like that's one thing. It's like I always feel like I'm going to be by myself with like all the problems that I'm having, and it's just all these things are building up. But when you realize you're in this together, like being in a group and having all these things happen, but then realizing we're in this together, like this isn't just like a single person problem. This is, we're all gonna do this. We're all gonna get through it.
We definitely could have reacted a lot worse to all the stuff that happened to us. Even though there were times where we were completely clueless, we were like so stressed out because we're like, what do we do? We're all like asking each other, and they're like, okay, we just need to make a decision. Like, I think that part of the reason we were able to handle that so well is because we all knew in the back of our minds, like deep down, like there's something bigger than this. And even like we're even doing this like as a way to like advance like that kingdom, like, you know. So we're trying to like use this experience to, you know, help other people like in their walk with Christ or even become a Christian. So like us being able to be confident in that and know that like we're doing this for that purpose and that like we have God on our side, like I feel like in a way that kind of made us all a little more like comfortable and calm through this situation, because we knew that that was something that was in our lives and that was guiding this group.